Hey everybody, welcome to the Matt and Carson Show, where the show is all about us.
And you, of course. What Matt forgot to mention this is Matt, and I'm Carson. I haven't made any episodes all summer.
I know, it's been quite some time.
Since June. So we just felt that we needed to reintroduce ourselves. This is what we do at the beginning of the staff meeting for all of you new staff members who are like, who are these
idiots?
Okay, that on screen. But yeah, we're just here to bring a little bit of humor and liveliness to staff meetings on Wednesday to help us.
Sometimes it needs it.
Sometimes to just help us love each other a little bit more. So today, something that Matt and I wanted to bring up really quick before we bring on our monthly guests is a little report card action. With the start of school, we figured we would bring something to the attention that was brought to our attention. I don't know if many of you remember, and if you're new, you need to check this video out, but we did a video on credit card statements and the do's and don'ts and what you should do. We brought Marvin Green, the staff member responsible for credit card statements, on the show, interviewed him. He used the word stupidity like 8 times throughout the interview. That lasted like 4 minutes.
We had to cut a lot of his interview.
But yeah, you don't share that, but we just did. We did have to cut a ginormous portion of his interview out. But it was a lot of fun, and we've noticed that some staff members are still struggling with some of the don'ts of the credit card statement.
Yep. Specifically things like stapling.
Right.
That's Marvin's job. You can't staple it.
You got to use the paper clip. So
we don't get that fun.
Anybody named Chris Sasser? Let's try and keep a look on that. So you introduce our guests today.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
why we're having them on the show.
We've got actually 3. We probably have more than 3 new staff members. Well, we definitely have 3 in student ministries.
You got fired and we brought you back on, right?
That's true. That happened over the summer. It's been a crazy summer.
It's been a long summer.
We have 3 new staff members in Studio 3, and by Studio 3 I mean student ministry. Sometimes, my mind. It's Courtney Everett, Taylor Swander, and Jeff Banks. And we are super excited about having them on. And we're actually going to get 2 of them on the show today with us. And the third, Courtney, who has been on staff about a week, she's not going to be on today, unfortunately, because we have better plans for her and you, Clay.
So we're going to bring you guys on, is what he's saying. We're going to bring you on as a couple later on so you can be interviewed together. But please welcome to the show Taylor and Jeff. All right, so we got our guest today, Taylor. Pronounce your last name for us.
Swander.
Don't use the microphone like Mike Ashcraft used the microphone. You got to talk into the microphone.
Talk into it. His technique's pretty nice.
Swander. I was just like judging by his initial. Okay. And then Jeff, what's your last name?
Banks.
I knew that.
Banks.
See, I knew that. See?
It's easy for them. It's
a little harder. Why did I ask that? So you've been on staff for like what? 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay, so you've been on for a pay period.
That's true. His first day was a staff meeting.
Was it really?
That was my first full day. Was last staff meeting.
Wow. Yeah. Nothing like easing you in,
And I was at Mike's table, so.
Oh, so you had to have good answers. You couldn't have been playing the flight simulator.
Yeah. Taylor, what'd you learn at GLS?
Which I wasn't even here for.
So how was recapping GLS when you were here for GLS?
I had a lot of good insight.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was kind of leading our table.
Being that we're on video, what talk was your favorite?
The second one.
Good.
That's
that was
good.
my
Actually,
favorite.
that was my favorite
That was
one
my
too.
favorite.
That was my favorite
Who
one
was
too.
that speaker?
The CEO of Ford and Boeing, so obviously.
The guy.
Jeff, how long have you been on staff?
I think this is my 4th week.
4th week? Okay.
Yeah, 4th week. Yeah.
So by my approximation, it's double of what Taylor's been on staff.
Exactly. I have twice the experience that Taylor has.
That's Taylor. You got some room to catch up, man. You better hope Jeff goes on vacation sometime soon, or else you're going to be living in the rear view. Moving on. What's been your biggest priority being on staff? Like, what's you're on staff. You've been here for 2 weeks. You've been here for 4 weeks. So you've got a lot of happiness and vision and passion floating around up here.
Inspiration from GLS.
Inspiration, right. I mean, those kind of things really inspire you to do great things, Taylor. So specifically you, where do you see yourself going?
I think the sky's the limit.
Yeah, I agree.
Is the only answer.
Okay,
to
all
that
right.
question.
All right, Jeff, you can't use that answer, so there's going to be 2 answers to that question. What's your answer?
Jesus.
I do have a good question.
Okay, go ahead.
What has been the most awkward moment of being on staff so far? Have
Because
there been
of your
any
experience, it should be hard to remember.
Like, have you been lost perhaps in this airport of a building or anything like that? Been forced to do anything uncomfortable, Taylor? Taylor's head looks
Taylor,
a
you
little
might have
bit
a better
different than
one.
it did last time at staff meeting.
Getting my head shaved on stage
We did that.
was fun, but it was a little awkward
That could be tough.
while doing announcements. And then I think trying to meet people that I should already know
Like
is
Mike.
always awkward. Yeah.
That's tough.
Like, hey, I work at your church.
You were at the same table as him at GLS, and you were like, "Who are you again?"
Who are you?
I'm
don't
Taylor.
know
I'm
you.
new here.
Who are you?
Yeah. Mike's an intimidating guy. Not really.
He's not.
I don't think he's that.
Well, maybe for you because you dated his daughter.
There was a season. There was a season.
I think I've had a lot of awkward like goodbyes, like trying to take on with people that I don't know that well yet, and like trying to take on a conversation way longer than it should have been.
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
like, well,
You just got to
right
learn how
back.
to be like, okay, good, we're good. Nice to meet you.
Now I just keep my head down whenever I go up to that end of the building, and I just don't make eye contact.
That's just what you want to hear from your new high school director.
He
we're going
avoids
to avoid
everyone.
eye contact. I think we had a staff meeting about that a couple months ago before y'all's experience kicked in about having good eye contact and conversation. Hugo was.
He did talk about that.
That was one of our amplified.
He's the
leadership.
main person I try not to look at.
Oh, good. That totally makes sense now.
Wow. Okay.
You have any other questions?